Konnichiwa. Oh.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Before we get started, I just want to tell everybody that unfortunately, yesterday morning, one of the members of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network, Miss Kendra Beltran, host of Crushgasm, lost her dad, who had been battling cancer. We just wanted to send out a happy, not happy, my bad. We want to send out all our love to Kendra, tell her that we're thinking of her. And the following episode of An Evening at the Movies is in fact dedicated to our love for her and the fact that we've got her back. So this one's for you, kid, and we will see you on the flip side of the intro.
An Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
And Toontastic Journeys. Just saying. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to your. What?
I keep forgetting.
There's no point. There's no point in doing it now until we officially make the transition from this overly priced hot garbage site to the other site.
True.
That way we can all just streamline together. But welcome everybody to a brand new theme month on An Evening at the Movies. Halloween Horror Fest is done and over with. We're moving on to bigger and better things as we move into the month of November.
Sorry.
There's nothing in the world better than Halloween movies.
That's what I meant.
Halloween franchises. We can get into that at a later date. But as you all know, stale popcorn, watered down sodas, favorite movies, why we love them. Yeah. Everybody's favorite. Well, okay, so we're gonna do this a little bit out of order this time for a particular reason, but for those of you who do not know and aren't following on the social media, this is the very first week that we have a brand spanking new co-host officially on the show. So, with all that said, welcome to the show, officially co-host for the first time ever, Mr. Chancey Greif. Welcome, sir.
Hi.
Awesome.
Aloha, hola, all that good stuff. It is great to finally have you with us, sir. One of us.
Gooble gobble.
I am still the favorite, just so you know.
I don't care.
Earn that title.
I'm not worried about that. You can hold that mantle.
You are the OG. So we'll go with that. And then the other co-hosts that we do still have on the show, one has zero fucks to give, and the other one could literally get rid of a body at the drop of a dime, and she watched enough true crime to know how to do it. So, but I digress. Everybody's favorite co-host in the world is with us too this week. Finally, we'll get to her introduction now that we welcome Chancey in for the first time ever as the official co-host.
Hi.
Co-host.
Well, gee, thanks. Hello. What's happening? I'm here. I'm ready.
I bet you're ready. Considering this is the month that you specifically requested that we do.
I did, in fact, request this.
So, it is with great pleasure that we will jump headfirst into an amazing, awesome theme this month. But before we do that, co-host, girl co-host, I have to
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
specify with adjectives now because I have the boy one and then the
She's outnumbered.
girl one down there.
I'm used to being outnumbered.
she
We're outnumbered in the network
she
too.
is, but she'll drag Shanna kicking and screaming at some point, and then everything will be 50-50 down the middle. So
Well, I am Amanda. My pronouns are she, her. Thank you. And we have a special guest today. Somebody
I was
who
going to say, would you like to introduce our special guest?
Well, that's what I was doing. Okay. So we have a guest, and he's a long-time listener, first-time caller, very faithful listener and follower. He also happens to be the giver of life to me. Michael Greenwalt, my father, everybody.
Yay!
World, Claire, world.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, this chair is broken.
We've been planning to have you on the show for a while, sir, and it just never materialized because somebody's daughter couldn't make it happen.
We've been in negotiations.
Yeah. My people have contacted his people, okay? God. Life be lifing.
With all of that said, though, definitely 100% welcome to the show, sir. We are glad to have you here. It'll be nice to actually be able to conversate and talk and not have to worry about watching for the comments to pop up on the other side of my screen. That, oh shit, and Amanda didn't do her damn job again.
Oh, you know what? I was actually about to tell you because I did just share it on Facebook. Yes, so I will obviously call him dad or father, but you guys are free to call him Mike or Mr. Greenwalt or,
Mike works.
Whatever your latest military ranking was, we could throw that in there too.
Mike is good.
Spinning wheel of death.
I was going to call him codename G.
All right.
Just a florist.
So,
oh, really? they're always just a florist.
We have officially changed the privacy settings for the episode. So, Amanda is willing to share the live on the Facebook. Oh, yay. Pew, pew, pew.
I thought we had an agreement. Go Huskies. Thought you were going to go to UW. Be like me. Be a Husky. Yeah. You need to stop it with that. I'm not holding back anymore. So let's just call it truce and leave.
We're not calling it truce.
He says pew, pew, pew. He's cheering for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And you're really saying that to a man who could kill you with his pinky wearing an OU shirt right now?
Just saying.
Your life. It's your funeral.
See, when I say pew, 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 though, it is definitely 100% not directed at your father. It is 100% directed at you, and only, well, not only you, because kind of Jeej, too. But
I'm an extension of him.
So he kind of sort of.
We share DNA.
Yeah, but he has some love for Ohio State, though, so there is that.
I sleep with one eye open. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
So, also, before we get into the new segment, Chancey's already participated. He knows what's coming. But this month we are here to celebrate the movies of the great author John Grisham. So we're going to sit down and discuss The Firm, The Pelican Brief, The Client, and Runaway Jerry. This week we're going to be talking about The Firm and all of that. But before we get into all of that, we have like I said, a brand new segment on An Evening at the Movies that Chansey has participated in. Amanda and obviously her dad have not participated in. So,
Ooh.
for those of you who know, it is kind of like the Colbert questionnaire on The Late Show,
Okay.
or if you've seen Inside the Actor Studio, it is kind of like the questionnaire that they do at the end of that episode or that
Like
end of that
Between Two
TV show as
Ferns.
well. Yes. So
I love Between
I-
Two Ferns. The Obama episode is great. Okay, sorry.
I
I
have
won't run for a third term. That'd be like making a third Hangover movie. That just sounds stupid. All right, sorry.
I have a long list of questions. We're not going to go through them all. I randomly picked out 5 for Amanda and Michael to answer for everybody so that they can get a chance to fully meet and understand what's going on through our people's minds.
I didn't know there was going to be a test.
Oh my God. I was literally about to say that exact same thing. I really am my father's daughter. Yeah. Nobody told me there was going to be a test.
So
I was told there would be punch and pie.
Exactly.
yeah, well, speaking of food,
More people will come if they take away our punch and pie.
Exactly. That was really good, Chansey.
our
I
illustrious
had to
guest-
pull. Sorry, go ahead, Casey. I'm done. I'm sorry.
our illustrious guest can go first. Michael, what's your favorite sandwich?
Ham and cheese. Ham. Yeah.
Really
Okay.
not a bad
And,
answer.
well, just the ham with the cheese and the bread. That's good.
Co-host,
Can
Same
I
question.
can I make it a tie? Okay. Jason's Deli Club Royale that's on a croissant is spectacular. I love club sandwiches, and then tied with it would be meatball. I'm like Joey. Give me a meatball sub, and I'm happy.
Amanda will throw herself in front of a speeding bullet to protect a meatball sandwich.
That's correct.
Yeah, the club is definitely, that's,
Yeah.
I love the club. Yeah.
McAllister's Club is pretty good, but that Jason's Deli Club Royale and that croissant is just like, oh, okay. Anyway, I'm hungry.
We're gonna rip the Band-Aid off, and Amanda, you get to answer first for the next one because I know what your answer is going to be. What's the scariest animal?
Birds. Beady little eyes. You never know what they're thinking, and they just swoop down at you and they shit on you. Birds suck.
It was either going to be that or it was going to be the 8-legged friends that
Well,
he
that's
really
an
loves.
insect. I don't consider that an animal, but yes, spiders too.
Spiders.
Michael,
The Cutamunda.
Who to what? Who?
The Cutamunda.
I don't know what that is.
It's a little power pack creature in Central America that when it comes at you in the jungle in the dark, it sounds like it's the size of an elephant.
Yikes.
Makes a noise like a tiger. But, it's only about, I don't know, yay big. Yeah, but in the middle of the night, it sounds frightening.
but it sounds like a charging elephant.
It does. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
It is
I'm learning more and more by the second.
Quite the intimidating creature, yes.
Forgot how well traveled you are.
Like the howler monkey.
Yes, one of his areas of operations was Central America. Check.
Panama.
Hey.
Velociraptor. That's the other one.
Oh, I didn't know. I was going with living. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
I'm not judging at all. Michael, what's your favorite curse word?
Damn it. Oh. Yeah.
Really?
Favorite used? Yeah.
He's not a big swearer.
I'm going to have to go with it. Yeah, it's I'm going with it. Yeah.
Damn it. Damn it, Janet.
I'll take it from you.
All right, earmuffs. You know mine. Mine's fuck. It's the best word in the whole world. So versatile.
I would assume that one, or however flamboyant you wanted to get with the adjectives, there's the other one.
Certifiably fuckable. Fuck was Abby's first curse word. She was
So-
5. I was just happy she knew how to use it.
Certifiably fuckable was Abby's first
No,
curse word at 5.
actually, technically, fucking was her first curse word. As in, get your hands off my fucking legs. To be fair, she was being traumatized. Well, she thought she was. So,
Oh.
I was just proud she used the right, tense and everything. I was like, okay.
She had some practice.
Well, that was the first time I'd heard it. But
I mean,
actually, I didn't even hear it. I got a phone call about it.
so I guess that happened at school.
Daycare, but yeah.
Oh, well, school, daycare.
Yeah.
Same general purpose. All right, Amanda, you get to go first. You can only listen to one song for the rest of your life. What's the name of that song? And $1,000 says it's written by Taylor Swift.
I can't do that. Okay. Off the top of my head, I would say Faithfully by Journey or Cardigan by Taylor Swift. I would say those two tie.
It's a tie. It still counts. I called it. Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, Cardigan's a gorgeous song and it's pretty to listen to.
No Starbucks lovers.
I know you love the Starbucks lovers. That is like most guys' literal favorite Taylor Swift song. It's wild to me. I mean, it's a good song. I guess that's why guys like it, because it's like,
Especially
Blank
considering
space.
it's not even the official line of the song.
It's got a long list of ex-lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane.
Yeah, well, I still call all my Starbucks lovers.
Of course.
So, Michael, you have a favorite song that you can only listen to for the rest of your life?
Maybe a classic rock song. Wait for it.
Yeah, if I'm only listening to one for the rest of my life, I have to be doing something good, like driving my car. So if I'm doing that, I'm going to be listening to Billy Idol, Moni Moni.
Oh, good one.
And
Good Corvette song.
I love that song.
The beat. You can drive fast while you're doing that. Yeah.
I think White Wedding is a better drive fast song.
It is, and it's on the same album, and I listened to that at the same time. Yeah.
Because you got the just like, hey,
Exactly.
sister, what have you done? Dun, dun. Okay, sorry.
And actually, I put that song on while I was driving Abby up to the top of Mount Scott in the Corvette.
She probably hated it.
She did. She didn't appreciate it at all.
Okay.
I laughed. That's funny. All right. Last question of the questionnaire. And Chancey got this question last time. We're not going to go with the exact same question. We'll just go with the generic question. But for Amanda, the correct answer to this question cannot be Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Why?
What's your favorite movie?
Well, Halloween.
Because those are the those
Okay.
are the easy answers that everybody who has followed the show for the last 4 years knows.
That's fair. I guess if I can't pick Halloween, why are you asking me questions you know are impossible? Like, okay, I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. Almost Famous.
That's actually not a bad choice.
Or Karate Kid. Those are the two that popped into my head. So
I mean, I, honest to God, figured it could have been any one of about 5 or 6 different movies that you said.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, we did a
There's still a
sip list
couple
about
that
that, and it was hard. Did our top 5
Yeah.
favorite movies. I don't even remember what my.
It really
I
was.
know Halloween. I know those 3 movies were on my list, but other than that, I don't remember. Okay.
And so was Halloween.
Well, that's what I
So.
meant. Yeah, Halloween, Almost Famous, and Karate Kid.
Uh,
Probably Selena.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that episode
Clue.
a long time ago, but
Clue.
okay.
So, Michael, what's your favorite movie?
Well, my initial thought when you asked that was Tora Tora, which was showing my age and came out the year I was born. But thinking of
And
it,
you made me watch it.
it has to be Valley Girl. Not sure if
Oh,
you're
okay.
familiar with it. You know, Nicolas Cage released
Yeah.
with
And that was his first movie, right? Was that before Peggy Sue got married? I feel like it was.
it was before, yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah. He had just changed his name at the end. I would think about that time from he's what
From
Francis
Coppola.
Ford Coppola's nephew.
Yeah.
I think something like that. Yeah, I did the Valley Girl, and it was not long after I had met Francis Ford Coppola when he shot the movie up at the Gardens of Stone. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again, so upset. I don't remember the people I got to meet, and just also I wish there was more photos. Or that's a memory I'd like to have in my head, but you know.
I did find a photo, but I couldn't really look good and see who was in it when we were taking on the hill there with everybody. But
I mean, you don't meet James Caan and James Earl Jones every day, and
No.
Angelica Houston.
Angelica Houston, D.B. Sweeney, Mary Stuart Masterson.
I had the biggest crush on D.B. Sweeney and The Cutting Edge. He was so cute.
Yeah.
I was actually I should have known that it would have been The Cutting Edge. Fucking, I could see you as a youth going toe pick.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorite movies as a teenager. I loved
Good
it.
movie. I'm just joking around, but it is
It's
actually
fine.
solid.
I'm not ashamed.
And Lawrence Fishburne. And let's see.
Larry was he Larry?
Larry.
Vote for Larry.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what we're
Hashtag
talking
vote
about?
for
I don't know if
Larry.
you watched that episode, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He was still Larry in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, so he would have still had to have been Larry in Gardens of Stones because that was or Garden of Stone, but that was before.
Yeah, Elm Street was 87 or 88, I believe. I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh, Larry.
So that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed springing it on both Amanda and Michael.
That was cool.
Because they weren't expecting it, and
absolutely not.
Caught everybody off guard. And now I feel like everybody knows them just a little bit better. So, The Firm.
Woo.
We're here to actually discuss a movie today. Believe it or not.
What?
Go figure. For those of you that don't know, The Firm released on June 30th, 1993, was directed by Sidney Pollack, released by Paramount Studios, had a $42 million budget, pulled in a whopping $270.2 million in box office.
Tom Cruise effect.
If basically, we'll get to that in a moment, though. If you have not seen the movie and would like to watch it, you can find it on Paramount Plus. And everybody's favorite weekly game.
It's on Prime as well.
Well, everything's on freaking Prime.
Well, I know. I'm just letting the people know.
Oh, like free to watch on Prime?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I couldn't find it.
Really? I watched it this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was part of one of my subscriptions and I just didn't realize it. I'm sorry. I'll double check. Well, go ahead, Casey. I'll double check.
I found it on Paramount.
So, yeah, that and I believe Runaway Jury is on Paramount. I'm not saying where I'll be watching The Pelican Brief and The Client from.
Hey, it's legit.
We hear.
Yeah, it's free on Prime.
The other one was legit, I thought too, until I brought it up on air and got yelled at for saying it. But
Well,
um,
just don't. Yeah. Anyway, we have resources. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm excited for
exactly.
Runaway 3 too. I know we're not talking about that yet, but I'm so excited for that episode. Love
Oh,
that.
we're still a month away from that. That episode will be our pre-Thanksgiving episode. So while everybody's driving down the road and going to their
George.
hi, Jeej.
George.
Everybody said hi.
Why
He's
is he
busy
not
doing.
downstairs watching football?
He was. I asked him to bring me my champs.
Good
Surprise,
call.
surprise. So,
Hey, it's a mimosa.
everybody
It's perfectly
knows.
acceptable.
True. It's favorite weekly game time. I have a Rotten Tomato score and I have a popcorn meter score for the firm. And Chansey didn't get to participate in the questionnaire portion of the show this week. So I feel like let's go ahead and start with Chansey. Mr. Greif, no hedging your bets.
I get no spread.
I told him he could have a 3-point spread. You're saying no? Okay.
Okay.
No spread. 2 numbers. 1 popcorn, 1 tomato.
Well, I think I'd have been like fucking 7 or 8, depending on the time of year it came out. And I remember it kind of being a big deal.
June 30th, 1993.
Oh,
John
so I was
Grisham
8.
hot in the 90s, and so was Tom Cruise. So
Yeah, shortly after my 8th birthday. Okay. So, oh wait, 7th birthday. You said 92, right?
3.
3. Yep. Oh, yep. 8th birthday. Okay. Um.
you're baby.
Okay, so it was really popular with critics. I mean, I want to say 80, but I'm gonna dial it back. I'm gonna say 75. And then I'm figuring it's not one that's actually like it's not like it's overly disparaging in between the two, between like the people and the critics. At least I thought anyway. I haven't seen a person that has that they don't like anyway for the film. Let's go. Let's go 70 for the folks.
All right. So,
Oh, sorry.
Or is it? It's not a tornado alert, is it?
It is a tornado warning.
Okay, you might need to go
We have a tornado warning. Sorry about that.
cover.
Yeah, we'll find out. They're looking to see where it's at right now.
Okay. Do you want to go second, or do you want to go last?
Go ahead. Oh, yeah, go ahead while I'm waiting on them to.
Okay. So I am basing my guesses off the fact that there are giant significant differences between the book and the movie. Only a few, but they're very, very big. So I'm going to say the critics score is going to be like, I'm going to say like 69%. I think the popcorn meter, I'm going to say like 73 ish. Yeah. I'm assuming that
and Michael
will have thoughts. So,
Yeah. Well, let's see. To go with the for the critics, and I'm going to base this just entirely on the fact that it was a longer movie, even for them. And there was a little bit of those. I think the screenplay, they thought it was a little slow, but so. And I was going to say 69, but since Samantha already took that, I'll go with 68, just to dive underneath that. But with the Rotten Tomato, I think it was pretty well accepted. I kind of remember the time. So I'm going to go with the 76 on that one.
Okay. So we're all sort of close.
So the tomato meter was
Let it go, let it go.
I thought it was me.
It's frozen on the
We're
screen.
frozen.
He's holding it back, so we can't hear it.
I can hear you.
All right, pay attention to your storm warning while we get Casey back.
Oh, you.
Chancey, how many times have you seen this movie? Is it like something you
5.
like to watch a lot, or just like you've seen it a couple of times?
I
now
was
that the
going to
wheel
say
of
like
death
5.
is gone. 76.
5. Go ahead.
If
We
you
were
were
feeling-
talking,
we were-
we missed everything you said. You were frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, so 76% for the tomato meter.
Whoa!
So
Look at
Nancy
me.
was off by 1%.
Shit.
Well, no, that's the
And
critic tomato meter.
yeah,
I was telling my dad because
and nobody was really close on the on the popcorn meter with the fans.
Okay.
64%. Evidently,
Oh.
the fans did not appreciate it as much as the critics did.
Okay, maybe the fans read the book and were mad about it.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
So apparently the length affected the
Well,
fans more than the critics.
Yeah. I mean, because
And let's just be honest.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, let's just be honest. This is before all the hatred and everything that Tom Cruise got for being a crazy cult follower came out, and
Yeah, he can go crazy.
I'll be nice and just leave it at that. Art versus artist is what we say in the network. So you can enjoy the work of the crazy people like Tom Cruise. You don't necessarily have to agree with the fact that Scientology is a fucking cult and they can make people disappear like there's no tomorrow and can break up families and all of that, but yet they are the greatest thing since sliced bread. So we won't go down that road.
Okay.
I mean, if anybody else wants to freaking hate on it, go right ahead. But other than that, I think we can move on to Amanda's 90-second beat the clock challenge.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. Whenever you're ready,
right.
go ahead and go.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
The Firm. A young lawyer joins a small but prestigious law firm only to find out that most of their clients are on the wrong side of the law. The company is helping to launder mob money, get clients off charges, and even murder partners who threaten to blow their cover. But when the FBI come calling to gather evidence on the lawyer's colleagues, he is caught between a rock and a hard place, juggling his life and his liberty. Dun, dun, dun.
That's not bad. 23 seconds.
So yeah.
So
Can
go ahead.
before we start like the questions, I was just gonna say I guess this will be a spoiler alert if you want to read the book. I was just gonna name off like the few main big differences between the book and the movie.
That actually is one of the discussion topics that I have.
Okay.
So I do have one that I want to get to before we get to that.
Okay.
And it would be if it's going to happen, this is the segment of the discussion where let's rip the Band-Aid off and address the crazy that is Tom Cruise as much as we want. But I don't pose this question because I hate him per se, but is Tom Cruise the perfect / only choice to play Mitch McDare?
I mean,
Is there a better potential person that they could have cast to fill that role?
I think he was pretty spot on. I mean, I'm trying to think of like other actors that were his age at that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they're watching.
Oh, okay.
are you guys okay?
Nothing new. Okay. Well, for me, it's new.
Hi, Dodie. I mean, I guess maybe. No, I don't know. I can't really think of anybody else. I think he was really, really good for the role because he was young and handsome, obviously, which is important, and he was likable. I mean, you wanted to root for him. You wanted to see him and his wife have their happy ending, and he seemed just innocent enough still that he could pull off the, oh my God, I can't believe my employer's doing this. But that's just my opinion.
Gentlemen, did you have an opinion on the subject?
Well, okay. I mean, perfect. I don't know. I don't know if perfect's the word for it, but I don't necessarily see anybody that would be the perfect character for that character in that time frame. But no, I don't think he would have been the only one that could have pulled it off and still had the movie be successful outside of the name value. Because they like stacked the entire cast with
Oh yeah, that
other heavy names. So I mean,
cast is stacked.
yeah, they could have totally brought in like a total nobody rather than a moderately next to nobody because he was already kind of on the way up when that came out.
Yeah. I mean,
But
with Gene Hackman on the ticket, you're getting
yeah,
people to watch. Like, I mean, not to mention the other people, but like, yeah, Hal
oh yeah,
Holbrook,
that time of year
Wilford
or
Brimley.
time of life, yeah, right.
I will say I did not like hearing the Quaker Oats guys say "fuck." It's like, what do you think I am? You're fucking night watchman? I was like, whoa.
Fuck, what do you think I am? The fucking doorman? Yeah, night watchman. Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I like his character playing the part. If I understood correctly, Charlie Sheen was also one they'd looked at for the part.
He would have done well on that. Oh, we lost somebody.
Yep, we did. And who else was it? There was somebody else besides Charlie Sheen that they were looking at. But now you know, Tom Cruise's outside activities aside, I thought he played the part well. He was filming A Few Good Men at the same time, I believe, or was in that filming at the time. That I talked to him. Kind of that part in his career. So, I
Charlie
thought
Sheen doesn't feel naive enough to me. He doesn't feel like innocent enough to me, I guess. But
he does. He doesn't, and that was kind of one of the flaws in the character that I kind of, picked up there. But yeah, and Jason Patrick, I think, was that they were looking at for the.
Jason Patrick could have been good. I could see that. Okay, not bad.
That actually would have been an interesting choice. I could see that.
I got a hot take for everybody on who could have played that character. That was kind of they would have been a known actor based on what they had done previously, but it would have been an ability for them to show range. Anthony Michael Hall.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially because he pulls off. Well, so the reason that I say that is because it made me think of another movie, Out of Bounds.
So what did
that
he
he
look like
did.
in 1992? I'd have
I
to
mean,
Google it. If he still looked really young and high schoolish, then I'd be like,
if I mean, he's supposed to be just getting out of college for law school, so I mean that's
Yeah.
still in the realm. I mean, I look like
Yeah.
I was 17 until I was 25. All right, I mean, but
So, okay, so for point of reference, The Breakfast Club came out in 1985.
Okay.
So you
what
have
about Out of
that.
Bounds?
I'm just saying he would have had to have filled out a little. He was so scrawny. It's not the young, it's the.
That's kind of why I was thinking about that other movie, that Out of Bounds, because he was a little bit older, and it wasn't like he wasn't so like you could definitely tell because he still had that Weird Science Breakfast Club look to him, but he was a bit older, like a little bit older.
The only thing I feel like was that he would be lacking the level of sex appeal that Tom Cruise has. Because, yeah, you need the guy to be,
Okay, at that time,
sweet
really
and
nobody
idealistic.
had that level of sex appeal that Tom Cruise had.
Well, right, but it wasn't like a he's the hottest guy I've ever seen sex appeal. It was a he's a boy next door kind of, but he was still handsome enough to be like, I don't know. I feel like Anthony Michael Hall wouldn't have been able to be that kind of. I feel the rest of the character he would have, but he wouldn't have had the same the
I
guy
didn't know
needs
that
to
was a
be
prerequisite,
attractive.
though.
For this character, I feel like you want the guy to be attractive.
But is that necessary, though? I mean, is it really necessary? Because I mean, that kind of detracts away from a lot of the other things. Because, like, I mean, him being attractive. I mean, him being attractive would have zero relevance to the fact that he was married. It would actually make more sense as far as like, even if he was like extremely dedicated to his wife, if he was that, lanky, weird looking high schooly thing that he had going on at that time, it would actually kind of not, I wouldn't say validate, but like explain to a certain extent, like he was that the whole beach scene where he gets seduced by that girl that they set him up on.
Yeah, I mean, you need
I
him
mean,
to
that would
be
definitely.
to
Well,
be
what do you mean?
believable.
You don't? No, you don't. She was hired by the firm
Well,
to blackmail him.
fair, but
So no,
okay,
it doesn't.
okay,
Him being attractive has zero relevance to someone being paid to
okay.
fucking put him in a blackmailing situation. That's like that. It also helps to explain that, though.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
something. I'm gonna say something, and you guys are probably gonna get mad, and I mean this with the least amount of disrespect as possible. So I'm trying to think of how to say this without sounding like an asshole. And
Speak
actually,
plainly. It saves time.
guys say this shit all the time, and nobody yells at them.
Say what?
Well, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had already said it. My bad.
He wouldn't be for it. It's not the believability of the fact that she was paid. She's going to have sex with him no matter what. It's he has to think that he is hot enough to get a hotter girl than his wife. Now, whether you think she's hotter or not is irrelevant. He might not have even thought that, but normally more unattractive guys do not go out acting like they can get any girl they want. And so if he hadn't have been just like this cute, handsome, but not overly hot guy, I don't think he would have been out there going, oh, maybe I could sleep with this girl. And the only reason he slept with her is because they told her exactly what to say to him to get under his skin. They knew he just had that fight with his wife, talking about how he had grown up poor and all this stuff. And so they fed her the lines and it worked like a fucking charm. But I don't know. I think.
I don't.
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, first off, I'm not sure why that would have been offensive in any capacity, because I'm not offended by that at all.
Well,
But
I still said
also,
it way nicer than I could have just blurted it out. But
no. So, like, for me, it's more of like if we're going the Anthony Michael Hall route with his not Tom Cruisey looks, it makes sense to me as because, like, there was that moment before he kind of dove in where he hesitated, which would be a similar act of a
A married
someone
man.
who has a married man with a modicum of a moral compass.
Yeah.
So someone who is as your logic put it, is Tom Cruise hot and thinks he can go out and get anybody he wants. That doesn't track, at least for that particular scene with that particular action or his actions in that particular moment. Because like he came across her and he was trying to be helpful because she was like upset. Like I don't know, maybe I missed more. Maybe there's more to it that I had missed.
Why is that savior thing such a turn on for men? I don't understand. It's like, let me sweep in on my white horse and save you. And oh, you're just like me. You just want to feel rich and safe. Oh, let's have sex. Like, it's just such bullshit. Anyway.
Well, I don't. Okay. I mean, I don't. I don't know. I don't. There's a lot to swallow on that one, and I don't agree that, because I mean, just being a decent human being doesn't mean you're fucking a savior. Because like, he didn't know that girl from Eve. Like, there was zero. Like, he had no skin in the game.
Always attractive.
But but that's the point, though, is that like, it wasn't a matter of him like trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna go save this girl and try and get laid. Like,
No,
he saw someone that was in distress, and then he wanted to help them. And then they had already fed her the information, much like you had said, and then she tripped his trigger. And then he had what we might call he had a desk fire, or a dry fire, if you will. All right. I mean, it's not a savior white horse thing. I get your point as to how that would be relevant in other contexts, but not this one.
Okay.
I was a little surprised that he fell for the oldest trick in the book.
He really.
The old honeypot. See, I knew it.
Attorney. Yeah, but just naive, I guess.
And I also
he just had that fight with his wife played into it. His
also
wife
valid
for money, and they had this big fight, and so he's like, "Oh, this girl's poor like I was, and she gets me." But yeah, she totally honeypotted him. You're right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely the actual factual total honeypot. But like,
You're picking me.
that naivete that your dad actually just brought up makes perfect sense, also describing for an Anthony Michael Hall role as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
so before we go too deep back into the Anthony Michael Hall thing, I did look it up. Breakfast Club, Weird Science, all came out in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
The one movie that Chancey brought up, what was it, Chance?
Out of Bounds.
Out of Bounds.
Never, yeah.
1986.
Oh wow!
And if you happen to have seen it, Johnny Be Good, the football movie that he played the all-star quarterback in, came out.
Yeah.
And he played a good part in that.
Came out in 1988. So
okay. He was more developed in that movie as a character.
Yeah.
Johnny Be Good. He played a bad guy, kind of, as a word.
Well, yeah. And this would have been probably a handful of years before he got cast on the Dead Zone TV show as well.
Yeah.
So, you have those points of reference then for, him being, the evolution from the scrawny nerd into the star quarterback into potentially a, hotshot lawyer in 1993 into a school teacher that gets plagued with psycho visions in a Stephen King TV show. So, all right, co-host, you have a list of stuff that totally craps the bed on the adaptation, like Kubrick did with The Shining.
I wouldn't put it that way because I do think what they did in the movie made sense for the movie, but the book is just much like, okay, Avery. In the book, Avery is not a sympathetic character. He does not have any of this like nicety, inner moral dilemma, like, you know, which I appreciated in the movie. I thought making Avery a sympathetic character like that and kind of giving what the future could be for Mitch if he had stayed with the firm, I liked that. But in the book, Avery's not like that. Avery's
Yeah.
just like the rest of them. He's still like a playboy, but
He's a total dick.
He was a bad guy. Yeah, he was not a nice fellow.
he was smarmy, but in a really bad way, not in the way that he is in the movie.
Swarmy,
Another big difference,
skeezy,
yeah.
shady.
But he does it in such a charming way that you almost find it attractive. Like, of course, for me, I'm not going to lie. In the 90s, at that age that they were, Gene Hackman and Paul Sorvino were both like old man crushes of mine. So it might have just been that I liked him, but I thought they made him a little, even though he's a sleazeball, he's charming enough to get away with it. You know what I mean? But
I'm not gonna lie. Paul Sorvino's daughter can get it.
yeah. Well, so can he. Daddy can get it.
Well,
Anyway,
she's the Mary.
no, she's the Rhoda. Michelle's the Mary. Anyway, we won't get into that. In the book, Abby never finds out about the affair, which again I thought was a good thing for the movie. It, again, it's another moral dilemma. It adds to the complexity of their relationship, not just of how they're not like spending time together anymore and whatever, but then he does this horrible thing and it's like, what is she gonna do? But in the book, she never finds out. And then the main difference is the end. The endings are completely different. In the book, Mitch doesn't find this way around where he still gets to keep his job and, they get him on mail fraud and whatever. Mitch takes the FBI and the mafia for their money. And then him and Ray and Abby are on the run for a while. And then they move to like the Caribbean. They meet up with Abanks. How do you Abanks? How do you, I don't know why. Anyway, and then they like live their lives out in the Caribbean. So,
he got a lot more money. I think 10 million or something like that out
yeah.
of it. Plus the FBI money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the whole comparing it to like Al Capone, where it's like, getting him on tax evasion. Oh, you got him on mail fraud. It's not sexy, but it's got teeth,
Yeah, they didn't do that in the book. He left like little tidbits of information for them to develop.
He did.
And prosecute as opposed to coming up with that.
I mean, robbing the mafia is pretty ballsy, but yeah. I don't think the movie would have worked if they had done it that way, because the whole thing about Mitch is that even though he says he's not, he's an idealist. Like even Avery's like, I knew he was a closet idealist. He wants to, even the guy's like, he's like, I could have turned that recording over. And he's like, well, why didn't you? He's like, it's against the law. So Mitch very much respects the law. He wants to keep his job. He doesn't want to get murdered. He doesn't want to go to jail. And so I think if they had ended the movie like that, people probably wouldn't have liked it. But yeah, there's other small differences.
Valid point.
That I could think of.
In the book, he accepted his position. Life is over as you know it, as they told him, and decided to make the best of it. Okay.
Yeah.
$10 million life is over. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's crazy because the book, sorry, Casey, at the end, Abby's like, let's have a baby. It's like, y'all just ruined your whole lives are ruined. Don't bring children into this, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I was going to say he did very briefly in the movie bring up the whole point of when he's going back and forth about whether or not he should or shouldn't, whatever, that if I go break on through to the other side, my life as I know it's going to be over.
Yeah. I don't
I'll
need
be
much
disbarred,
of a
I'll be blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love that he's
felt like they
Good.
delve more into that in the book. Obviously, because of where they went with the story. But
Yeah, they got to have
Um,
that, off into the sunset bit at the
Yeah.
end of the theater. You got to have it for the theater run.
But
Yeah.
but he also did say, do you think I'm ever going to start my car again without breaking a sweat? So he at least still knew that, yeah,
mhm.
the mob people agreed with him and said it was okay, but you never know what they're going to do.
Of course not.
Right.
No.
He just didn't
It's
want to
one
lose
of my
someone else's life.
unrealistic parts of the movie for me, but yeah.
Yeah.
Same. That's so awesome.
So
Yeah. No, they would have sent somebody. They would have hunted him to the ends of the earth, especially for that kind of money at that time. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No one would have been safe.
oh,
Well, but he didn't
even
take their money in
being
the movie.
No, in the
Right.
book.
well, no, but
Yeah.
even running off and hiding in the freaking Caribbean, though.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, in the
There's-
book, he definitely, yeah.
That's the series.
If
10
they
years
decided
later.
to come after him, they'd have found him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which,
I love when
spoiler
he's like,
alert. Well, I was just gonna say really quick. Spoiler alert. My brother was in Job Corps when that series was filmed, and one of the episodes they filmed at his Job Corps center, and he actually got to meet dude that freaking played not Steven Weber, the other guy from Wings.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, I played the
Yeah.
part.
yeah.
He made that call. They're back.
Yeah.
We're
So-
back.
I guess the easy way to go is what was it that everybody felt like they loved about this movie?
Dad, you want to go first?
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, at that time, I had just started reading some John Grisham novels. I think I started with the one with the jury, and I think I had just read this one before it came out, The Firm. Yeah, and so it was just interesting for me to see it adapted into a novel, which ironically, how it happened with John Grisham, that the book didn't even sell, it was paraded to Hollywood on bootleg copies. So it was a surprise for me to see that out there so fast. And I liked it was a long movie, but I just kind of like the way that, a different play on the attorneys, as opposed to the car chases and blow them up and everybody develops super ninja skills to get through the movie. It was played more, on an intellectual part. Although Tom Cruise did have a little bit of that Mission Impossible there going out the window and everything.
And when he's running after, he's like,
yeah,
the way he was running cracked me up.
jumping out on the bale of cotton or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So a little prelude to that, but
I was gonna say, to be fair, they did actually give that a logical preface there when he was doing the cartwheels at the beginning of the film.
Well, no, yeah, that was cute.
yeah,
I was with the
I
way
mean-
he was running after
the
Abby.
man
It was
with many
very-
talents. Yeah, the cartwheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was young in college, and
Oh yeah. I forgot about it. Yeah, I always keep forgetting that he's supposed to and that's also another thing too, because it's not that he looked too old, but it's just like I forgot that he was in college the whole time.
yeah, nobody's ever failed the bar. But yeah,
Nice. Well, so coincidentally, I don't know, whatever.
That was good.
Funnily enough,
Funnily.
your copy of The Firm was the
Are we
first
talking
John
about a
Grisham book
cave?
I ever read. I want to say it's when Chris and I were visiting you in California. like when you were stationed outside of Barstow or wherever that was. I feel like that's when I read it. And that was the first book I ever read, and I really, liked it. After reading others, it's not my favorite, but that was the first one I read.
Because I had those books then, and I was reading them. Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is what he's got on the shelf. Let me grab it and read it. And then I was like, okay. And I did get hooked on John Grisham. In the 90s, he was super, super popular. And even in the 2000s, and he's still, like, his books are just really, really good. And most of the movies have been good adaptations, even though they've left a lot out. Like I said, this one, the changes they made, I feel like they had to for the movie. The Client, I have different feelings about, and we'll get to that in a couple of weeks. I really liked
Yeah, we will.
I liked the storytelling in this. I liked the pacing was a little off sometimes, and it was long for a 90s movie, but I felt like it was all necessary. So I thought the pacing was okay. And I thought it was intense when it needed to be, and it was a little more lighthearted when it needed to be. And I thought the story came together really well. All of the characters, felt really important too. Like, where you feel like, oh, could this character have been left out? And it's like, no, like Eddie and Tammy, you need them, and you're invested in Tammy, even though Eddie gets like 5 minutes of screen time. You're upset.
Oh my God. Thank you for doing that for me. Thank you.
Like, I was really upset when he died. Now, he'd only be on screen for like 5 minutes, and then you're like rooting for Tammy because she's so scared. And they're not even central characters to the story, but you still like care about them. And like Ray, I really wanted Ray to like, Oh, that was another thing in the book. They don't let him out of jail. I think he escapes, right? Or they break him out or something. I remember something about him jumping over a wall. Am I dreaming that? I don't know. I don't remember. If anybody read the book and you know what I'm talking about, you can let us know.
I remember he gets out.
It's been a while.
I liked the intensity. It was a good thriller, and the dialogue I thought was really good and well delivered. And I thought everybody's performances were really good. Like I said, you cared about everybody, whether it was in a good way or a bad way. I didn't feel like really any of the main characters were expendable. So
and Holly got the Academy Award nomination.
She was really good in this.
Supporting actress, yeah.
And I will say, I still say, I used to say this. I don't really say it anymore because I'm married. But when Ray's like, I love your crooked little mouth, and she's like, well, it's not my best feature. I used that line so many times when I would start dating people. Like, well, that's not my best feature. He was like, what is? He was so cute. I love that guy. What's his name? David. I can never say his last name, but I love him. Strathern?
The guy that plays Ray?
Yeah. I can never pronounce his last name, but
David Strathern.
He's the guy that plays.
Is it Strathern? Yeah.
Strathern, yeah.
However it's pronounced. But
he was so good in
Chancey, did you have like some stuff that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, my favorite thing about this movie was fucking Gary Busey.
He was great.
For real. Like it was peak. It was peak. Oh yeah. Peak fucking if I'm not mistaken, I think that was like shortly after that motorcycle accident that he had. So like we're talking like peak drug use or post accident Gary Busey. That's always my jam. But
Julio Iglesias.
Yeah, right. Boom.
Well, yeah, like the fact that he made such a big impact on the movie. Yeah.
Did he ever get out of the chair behind his desk?
No.
Yes, he did, because he came around and sat next to Tom Cruise when he met him.
Oh no! I thought you were talking about when he died.
Yeah. No. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. He never got out of the chair. But then again, I don't think he wanted to, because if he had, then he would have exposed the secretary.
I was vacuuming the carpet. You want me to draw you a diagram?
Exactly.
The way he looks at her, she's like,
I
was
don't think she was vacuuming nothing.
Well,
something.
I mean, something was sucking. It wasn't no vacuum, but it was something.
Where's your
Sorry,
second
Dad. I can't do this with your face right there.
That's why I'm doing it, because it ain't my dad.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't get shot there.
Chancey has 0 fucks to give.
Yeah, I am fucking straight up honey badger.
Okay, can I bring up something else before Chancey gets to? Because I'm actually surprised this hasn't come up yet.
Go for it.
Who the fuck knew Jigsaw could run so fast?
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Come
That is
on.
fucking Jigsaw. I never.
I know.
I watched it today. I was like, oh my god, that's Jigsaw.
That took you to till today?
Because I don't watch the Saw movies that much, and I never really paid attention to that guy. I've seen this movie so many times that normally when I watch it, I'm like half watching it. But today I really focused so I could make my notes. Because like last night, George was like, do you need to watch that movie again? I was like, no, but I want to. So
that's funny.
So yes, that was the first time I realized that was Tobin Bell.
The albino. I kind of felt like his play out with the albino and Fletch.
He's in.
You know.
My favorite albino is the albino from
Fletch or
no, it's not Fletch, but it is Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. What is the name of that movie?
God, I can't think. Yeah,
because they keep calling him the albino, and he's not even an albino. What is the name of that movie?
Yeah,
I am totally blanking, and it's one of my favorite movies. Okay.
Me too. I was thinking. I don't know. I was thinking Fletch.
You guys know what I'm talking about with the Opera House and Chevy is a cop and. All right, I'm going to figure it out. Anyway, sorry.
Speak.
I'm looking it up. Foul Play. Foul Play.
Okay. Yeah.
Foul Play, 1978. That movie is a classic. Classic. Okay. Do we talk about what we didn't like? Well, Casey, what did you like about the movie?
Considering how much, well, okay, so this is still.
You know what? I'm sorry, Chancey, were you done?
At the beginning of the episode.
No, I'm good. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
This was still early in my. Well, I hadn't quite discovered the Mr. Cruz was.
You're freezing up a lot, buddy.
Definitely is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi sucks because we're having weather. It's not my least favorite Tom Cruise movie of all time. It's not my most favorite Tom Cruise movie of all time. I, like you said a minute ago, too, for the fact that it was 2.5 hours long, it really isn't a bad pace for the movie. It kind of sort of moves along at a good pace. It could have been a little bit faster at points, but the cast is freaking amazing. And on top of it, I think the thing that I really love so is it's a legal drama, but it's not one of those like A Few Good Men with all the flashy courtroom scenes and, you can't handle the truth and all that, explosive, witty drama. It's something different that gets you to see the other side of being a lawyer. So there's all of that.
You don't have to know anything about the law. Like they explain it to you. So you don't have to be educated to understand it. Yeah.
That's really one of my favorite things about the John Grisham legal movies is, for the most part, you really don't have to be incredibly knowledgeable about the law. For the most part, they will explain it as long and help
Yeah,
the movie, even if you have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
and this book was developed from a friend he knew in law school, or the top graduating person in law school that had actually went to an interview. But nobody brought up that Terry Wells was in the movie, the 1991 Playmate of the Year. You know, they had to drag her into
Who's that?
Terry Wells.
I don't know who that is. Who was she in the movie?
Oh, she played one of the women dancing in one of the.
Oh, the blonde girl dancing with Avery with the okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Terry Wells, the 91 Playmate of the Year. She was, I think, living
Well,
with.
you would know. Y'all should have
Absolutely.
seen his extensive Playboy collection. Like George had a good collection, but yours was like unparalleled.
Terry Wells, yeah. So she got sued.
No judging on an evening at the movie.
I'm not judging. I like Playboy. I like the jokes. The jokes are great.
He got sued about that time by Playboy for using a lawsuit she won. So
She's not allowed to act. Like they don't own her.
no, it had to do with her using the fact she was Playmate of the Year or won. But she won her lawsuit. But yeah,
That'd be at the top of my resume till the day I died, and it'd be on my tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
Here lies Amanda Kohlhofer, loving wife, mother, daughter, Playmate of the Year, circa 1992.
Oh God, that was a.
I don't know her actual name, but the girl that Mitch fucks on the beach. I wish she had gotten more roles. She was in Legends of the Fall, and she's just so beautiful. And I'm pretty sure she is Native American, and Native Americans don't get a lot of roles. I'm glad that that's starting to change, but she's so gorgeous. I loved her. I don't know her name, but
Karina Lombard,
Karina. Maybe she's not
Lombard or something like that.
Okay.
So,
well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for everybody.
Other side of the. Okay, go ahead, and then we'll flip the coin over to what we hated about the movie.
Okay. My question is, how far do you think Abby would have gone with Avery before either she stopped or what? Like, let's say he didn't pass out right as she started to kiss him. You think she would have gone the distance?
I think she was willing to.
I do too. I don't think she thought she would need to, but I think she would have.
Yeah.
Plus, we know she was attracted to him. Like, it was very subtle, but she was definitely sucked in by his charm, in my opinion. I don't know. Do you guys agree?
Either A, as payback, revenge, or, B, willing to do it to get the job done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracks.
I think she would have gone all the way.
I love when she says Mitch doesn't know I'm here, but I did do it for him. He's like, that's even better than getting even with him. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was just curious. She didn't have to do much, but I was curious, what she would do. Okay, that was it.
Oh, I think she would have done a lot more than people think she would have. All right, so what was it? Everybody, was there anything about the movie that people didn't particularly care for?
I think the only thing that I saw conflict with early on was when the FBI was talking to Mitch and they told him, the partners are in on it. And we think, they're going after the partners. And we think maybe a couple of associates we could arrest. But then the whole premise is about the FBI going after an associate who would not have been privy to all the things the partners knew. So I kind of saw that as a disconnect in the plot because, A, you're going after somebody who realistically wouldn't have been privy to that information, the partners. Why didn't they go after a partner? Try to carve out the weak one and, But,
well, I think Mitch was just their way in. I mean, I don't know that. And he was easy to scare because he was new.
He was, but because they're asking him to break the law to
Yeah.
That's
get the file.
my kicker, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas a partner, they could have found the weak one, and hey, you want to go to prison the rest of your life, or talk to us.
I was gonna say, let the man cook. These are the eyes into the secret world here.
But I
And
think
then-
the
They did
point
find
that
two
they were,
weak ones, and they ended up freaking at the bottom of the freaking Caribbean Sea.
I don't think there are any weak partners was the point, because he even said they get you in, your kids are in private school, you're making all this money, and they've got you sucked in, and at that point you're beholden to them, and if you try to leave, you're seeing what happens if you try to leave.
Yeah,
Or
but on the
tell
flip side of that coin is once you're there and the FBI faces you with, okay, now you're going to do prison the rest of your life,
Yeah.
you might rethink. But my other big point was just my take on the mob. You're going to approach the mob and say, okay, I'm the ship that's never going to set port, but the mob doesn't let ships set out there.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
They're they're not going to agree to turn over their law firm, and then hey, if you arrest all the partners, their law firm's gone.
Yeah.
So yeah. But other than that,
Well, yeah, I mean, along that point, I mean, it's like literally like, would the Corleone family have done that? Would Al Capone have done that?
No, they wouldn't have taken his word for it. Not as some kid they don't even know who just. But also, to be fair, he did not very thinly veiled threaten them, basically saying, "I know everything you know, down to the cent, and if something should happen to me, I still think they would have found a way to take him out, but you're right. That was a little unbelievable, but
either that or make him their lawyer.
yeah.
If you're now in bed with us,
Well, actually, I think that was kind of how he pitched it as well, because the only way that they would have been able to be immune is if he was their attorney, because they would have been protected by attorney-client privilege. But it's basically like they have an attorney on retainer that can't be forced to talk against them, but they're never going to use them for anything. So in that regard, from a business sense, I would have taken it. Because I mean, there is that assurance, there is that guarantee. Like, they can't. The only way he can do it is if some kind of something or other. And if, say, he runs out of money and tries to blackmail me for more money, I can always meet up with him in a third place. And since everybody wants him gone anyway,
my feeling is the mob would have just taken the lawyers out anyway, because you can't risk them going to prison and talking. So
yeah. But to Terrence's point, also, you take down all those lawyers, there's going to be 20 more firms behind them that are going to want that money and do the same thing. So the mob doesn't have a shortage of people that can, he's like, the only way they can launder money is through a washing machine. Dude, you're stupid. Not like when Terrence, you're so naive. Like, yeah, they'll always find a way to get their shit done. It's just, do they leave anybody in the trail or not? And yeah, you're right. They wouldn't have left them. Do you think all the wives know? That's my other thing, because what was really disappointing to me was Lamar. I liked his character, and you could tell after the two were killed and he's sitting outside, you could tell he's terrified. Like, his face is white. He's like, their kids are the same age as my son. Like, so it's like you feel bad for him, because obviously
and the sprinkler keeps
yeah,
shooting him in the damn leg.
Yeah. Not even flinching. Yeah.
He knows, and you can tell he's having, this is the way I took it, is that he's having this realization, I can really, really never get out of this. Like, if I ever even had an inkling that I thought I could walk away from this, now I know I can't, because I've got a wife, I've got kids. I can't, it felt like he was having that realization then. And then, so it's like, but do you think the wives know? I couldn't figure out if Kay knew or not. Like, do you think, I wonder if the wives are kept in the dark or if they know about it.
Maybe the wives of the partners.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because, like, Abby, I could see her being the kind of person who would start poking. If Mitch hadn't, if she even got, just an idea that something might be wrong, I could see her doing the same thing Mitch did. going to talk to people, going to do this, going to that. And like, how would you ensure that none of the other wives wouldn't do the same thing? I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, over here, Devil's Advocate, also an awesome lawyer movie.
Yes. Talk to me out of law school.
I gotta say, she did in the business. We like to call what she did earlier in the movie foreshadowing, because she was she was like, no, do you want to hear about this? Because she heard like all the weird shit people were saying, and she's like, no, hold up, listen, don't listen to what I'm saying, listen to what I'm telling you.
They don't forbid me to have a job, and they encourage children. Like, she knew women's intuition always gets ignored in these situations.
Yeah, she picked up the bad vibes right off the bat.
But
She's like, listen, something's fucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these aren't good people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Go ahead, co-host.
I think I was just gonna say, for me, the only thing this is weird, and it's gonna sound weird. I really enjoyed the music in the movie, the score, but I don't feel like it fit the movie. I feel like there's some parts where it did, like you got the Memphis feel, but then I felt like there was other really intense parts of the movie where they're playing that music and it doesn't match up. So I had a problem with that.
I did too. Yeah. It was mainly piano driven score,
Yeah.
And you're right, it didn't match up at some points. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, in general, it's good music, but I didn't feel like it matched the intensity of some of the scenes that they used it in.
Even though the score won the Academy Award, correct?
Did it? Oh.
I believe it was the score that won the Academy Award.
Surprises me. Because, to be fair, and again, I thought it was good. It's not very complex. Like, musically, it wasn't a complex score.
It was Halloween.
It wasn't, yeah.
But, okay, that's fair.
Exorcist.
And the only other thing I didn't like was, the beach thing was a setup. I thought it was nice of Avery to tell her that. It wouldn't have made a fucking difference in my mind. I don't care if it was a setup. I don't care if they paid her to take her clothes off, stand there naked, and tell him what a nice, sweet boy he was. He still had sex with her. I don't care if it was a setup. Like, stop trying to, absolve him of guilt. He did a shitty thing, and he should be sorry for it. Like, that. Stop trying to rationalize what he did. I didn't like that, but it didn't matter.
Wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. I think it was asked, would it be worse if, or Holly Hunter said it, would it be worse if, she knew or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't even know her name. Like don't, that's the other thing, but that's a thing that happens. People tell to absolve themselves of guilt, to make themselves feel better. I couldn't stand you not knowing. Dude, go fuck yourself. You just broke your wife's life and broke your marriage for something you didn't even know. Just keep it to yourself and stew in your own misery, or just don't do it in the first place. But
it's even worse. You didn't even know him.
Yeah. I would almost rather my husband have an affair with somebody he cared about than just screw some woman one night whose name he didn't know. Like, that's how little I mean to you, that you didn't even know her name. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
But other than that,
exactly.
I liked everything else. So
that was my whole thought when he said that line. I didn't even know her name.
Oh, I wanted to throw something.
Seriously, do you not care about your wife? Just some nameless, faceless stranger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're gonna get down and dirty in the sand and throw everything that you've ever had with your wife, all these, I'm assuming at least probably 10 years or 5 years, however long they've been together, down the toilet. It's like, to me, that's cold and unforgiving.
Yeah, it was awful. I love when he's like, I promise. And she's like, what? No, don't say that to me. It was funny because George got up while I was watching it, and it was the part where they're in the backyard, and she's like, don't you dare, you son of a bitch. And she threw the bottle of wine. And I was like, I would have thrown that straight at his face. And I looked at George. I was like, I know you already know this, but if you ever cheat on me, I'm throwing a bottle of wine straight at your face. Like, that's what's happening. Or I'll just have my dad have
At the
you
end of the
killed.
day,
Yeah.
they're not going to throw anything at that Tom Cruise face and not have the studio get all kinds of freaking shit
Yeah.
for, because that's his moneymaker. If something were to happen and that face got screwed up, woo,
Yeah.
Whatever. She's hotter than him. Jean Triplehorn can get it. She's beautiful. I'm sad she didn't have a
yeah.
bigger career.
Yeah. Oh, Gene Triplehorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
I mean,
Absolutely.
probably the two biggest movies she was in were right about the same time: The Firm and Basic Instinct.
Oh yeah, I forgot she was in Basic Instinct.
Uh,
Dare we ask Chancey what he didn't
Oh.
like about the movie? I'm scared.
Go ahead, Chance, before we do the
do tell.
rating.
I was gonna say I've been waiting for this moment.
Oh no.
That's why I let everybody go first and was real quiet.
Y'all ready for this?
You did it. No, anyway. So okay. What I'll say, rather than going on a tirade of the things that I didn't like, because all the things that I didn't like can be easily wiped away if they just remake the movie. Like in a modern, no, I mean like in a modernized sense, like what they're doing now with all the films, like doing modernized remakes. If they
So
did a
are you
modernized
saying-
remake,
I'm surprised they haven't.
So you're
It's
saying
dated-
that the technology was different or that it's dated? Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
right, yeah, like
That's
because
fair.
like even at like the early 90s when it came out, the Mob makes sense because the Mob was still like big in everybody's head, especially like up in New York and like the Northeast and stuff. But like watching it now, it's like what the fucking what? Like okay, the fucking Mob, yeah. But then and then also like just the fact that actually okay, outside of them remaking it, because I do think it deserves to be remade because it is good. But like for me, another thing that got me was it was in a time kind of like where thrillers weren't given their like it was either a scary movie or like a whodunit or like everything was like segregated to its own genre. And things hadn't really started crossing over, and it kind of felt like it felt almost awkward in that sense with this film. Yeah, I don't know if that came out
one
right.
of the first ones, like legal thrillers, became a huge genre of its own in the '90s, but
They
I
did.
think
Yeah.
maybe because it was early. But
It could be, but yeah, it felt like super awkward. Like it was kind of knew what it was doing at the party, but it doesn't know how to dance, kind of thing.
I didn't get that feeling, but
Mhm.
that's a funny metaphor.
But yeah, no, it's like I said, it was just one
why
of
we brought you into the show, Chance.
hey, I do what I can. But no, like it was like I said, it's not that it's definitely not a deal breaker by any means. It's like it's just that it feels out of place, and I really think that it could be done better, not so much better justice, but better extrapolated upon, because with it being in a runtime, like a long runtime for when it came out,
Yeah.
with that same amount of runtime nowadays, they could actually flesh out a lot of different things that may have needed better, better stuff. Because like even like a lot of the stuff that was like what they were being suspected of for the the people who die and all that stuff, it's just still kind of like
Yeah.
they could have shrouded all that better. And then at the time, like you said, it was kind of the first stage of the legal thrillers.
Yeah. Well, and the
'Cause,
book
like-
goes a lot more into that stuff too. Like
Yeah,
they vet him very well in the book. Like in the movie, you see him go to one interview and they want him so bad, but in the book, I think he goes to like several interviews. Like they go more thoroughly into that process, and then also into his backstory with his family, and then him and Abby.
Well, I mean, they kind of sort of go into it with that little montage at the beginning while the credits are rolling.
yeah.
yeah,
And then they come out of the credits and they're like, "Here, sit down. Here's the offer." Blah blah blah. Oh, okay. Make him an offer you can't refuse, and we're off to the races.
Mhm.
right.
if they remake it, they got to do it with the book ending because I think that could fly now. In the 90s,
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
think people would have liked that, but
Agreed.
now
Yeah,
I think it's good.
that was another reason for my thoughts of the remake idea was that it would actually, fly better than it would have then.
Yeah, I don't think people would have liked that, so I get why they did
Oh
it.
no.
In
Yeah,
the
no,
90s,
not
we
then.
still needed stuff tied up in a pretty little bow, and
Hmm.
I think
Mhm.
Yep.
30 years ago,
The
I don't
bat.
think people would have gotten behind it. I think today people would get behind it.
yeah.
The bad guys need their comeuppance.
Yeah.
Poor Paul Sorvino always being
Well-
typecast too.
Yeah, but he does it
Hey.
so well.
He really does. He really
He
does.
really does. So, if you were gonna rate the movie out of 5, what would you guys give the movie? Well, let's go Michael first.
Okay, I was like, somebody go.
I'm gonna say Agent G.
That's
I would have,
sir, yes, sir.
as much as I like John Grisham and the novels and the movies that they brought out of it, and I liked the firm, I would go with about 3.25 stars
Ooh,
on it, based on the runtime at the
cutthroat.
time. I would have liked to see them develop some of the characters better, and as you said, going into some of the other things. I liked the book better. I did like the book a lot better. I thought it kind of failed on some of his stuff. Not a huge difference, but I think that disconnect was what drove me. I would like to see it remade because I think they could get it up a much better movie with but still a good. I absolutely watch it again. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Casey, we should do this one as a recast sometime. Like there's so many big
That's
stars in this movie,
actually
we could do a recast. That would be cool.
There's a lot of
bad
characters.
idea. And I definitely think we could. Well, we can talk about that after the show's over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I definitely love that idea. Chance that you just got to go off on your hatred. So, Amanda, out of 5.
Okay, so real quick before, because we kind of don't really do this anymore, but I did have some favorite quotes from this that I wanted to share because I thought there was some really funny dialogue. I like when they're riding in the limo and Abby's like, if you've been in one limo, you've been in them all. Trying to play it cool. And then when he's first talking to Avery, he's like, are you asking me to break the law? He's like, no, I'm just trying to figure out how far you want it bent. That was funny. When he comes home to tell her and she's like, oh, if you're afraid we'll wake the kids, we don't have any.
Right.
And let's see. Oh, this one it's a favorite because it just made me sad when she's talking to Avery and she's like, what's going to happen to you? And he's like, whatever it is, they did it a long time ago. That made me really sad. That is the only thing I like about the movie that wasn't in the book was Avery's character. I liked the way they changed him for the movie. I liked him being sympathetic. That's just a personal thing for me that I liked that. But other than that, I agree the book was way better. I mean, again, it's going off nostalgia and how many times I've seen it, and I'll always watch it if it's on. I'm gonna give it 4.25. I'm gonna go a little bit higher, just because I like it so much. Even though all the things you guys said are true, but I still just really like it.
Mr. Chance of Grife.
I'm gonna meet in the middle, and I'm gonna go about 350.
All right.
No, it wasn't bad. I definitely think it could go right down the middle at about 3.5. That's not a bad rating.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say
No,
real
and
quick. I love the part when they show up for the files and they come in with like 10 dollies and it's just a file folder sitting on the table. I laughed so hard.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
That part
It's
made me
like, what?
cackle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to agree with Chansey. 3.5 is probably about where I'm going to fall on this. Again, like I said a minute ago, it's not my favorite Tom Cruise movie. It's not my least favorite Tom Cruise movie.
He has way worse.
I would say, yeah, I would say, well, we had this discussion last night about the crappiest Tom Cruise movies of all time, and hashtag those episodes or those movies will not get brought up on
Yeah.
an evening at the movies, and I will veto any request for those movies.
Rest in peace, Stanley Kubrick. But Eyes Wide Shut's the only movie I've ever walked out of the theater on.
Well,
Not
I don't
mine,
think he'd
but
mind because it wasn't his film.
That was a Kubrick movie.
Not what they put
Sure.
out. They cut up so much of that movie. He would have said that that's not my movie.
Okay, maybe.
I was gonna say
Which movie?
Eyes Wide
Uh,
Shut.
Eyes Wide
Eyes-
Shut.
Yeah, the last movie that he actually directed, but when he died, they recut it and then sent out. What they sent out was definitely not what he intended. So in
That's like
turn,
Kubrick to me.
yeah, I mean, it definitely like they would have had to have cut all of the movie for it not to have felt like a Kubrick film. I mean, that's
But I mean, at the same time, along with the whole Tom Cruise argument, this isn't my favorite Grisham movie of all time,
Mine either. But
but it's not my least favorite as well. I mean, I feel like it did a lot for his cinematic library, and it brought people in that maybe not would not have picked up the book and checked it out, and
yeah.
all of that. So,
imagine their surprise if they'd have watched the
I'll-
movie before they read the book.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Well,
he's still one of the most successful authors in America right now. So, and he's
I
still
do.
putting out books that are New York Times bestsellers. So,
I wanted to say one thing about John Grisham. I meant to say this in my review, but the problem, well, not a problem, but to me, John Grisham is very much like Stephen King in that their books are super, super detailed. Like there's so much information. You know, in King, it's whatever he's giving you. With John Grisham, it's usually legal or backstory or whatever. But they both have a similar writing style where they give you so much detail that it's really hard to translate to screen in 2 hours and 2.5 hours. So you get what you get and you deal with it, but that's how their writing style is. And so you're never going to get the adaptation that you
you
wish
really
you
do.
got unless it's a mini series. Like
Yeah.
they could do The Firm as a limited series. That would have been amazing. I'd
Yeah.
love to see Runaway Jury as a limited series. Like,
Well, I mean, if
Yeah.
they did that nowadays, they could totally do it as like a one season Netflix
right.
show.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now that they're doing
Yeah.
those things, I'd like to see them do that with Grisham like they're doing with King because it's so much detail, just like you get in a King book, and it's just impossible to put in one movie and get it all in there. So
It is. And I was really surprised that that book didn't sell. Well, the publishers wouldn't even, hear him on the book, the firm, It was really surprising. Didn't sell. I mean, the Pelican Brief didn't sell, but,
Yeah.
then they didn't even want to, they did, it took a copy room boy to make a bootleg copy and take it out to Hollywood to get anybody to hear it. So,
The Pelican Brief is probably my least favorite movie and book of his. I think not because I don't like the story because it's amazing and I know we'll talk about it next week, but it just is so. I feel like it's overloaded with information, but still really good.
Oh, I'm super stoked about that episode.
Rest in peace, John Hurd.
Good times, good times. I'm looking forward to that one. Can't wrap up the episode though each and every week without thanking the hundreds for being here. You guys are awesome. You guys helped us have one of the most successfully watched Halloween horror fests of all time, as well as one of the most successful Stephen King birthday bonanzas. Our listeners and devoted followers are incredibly amazing, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Whether you're OG like Brandy or you're new to the tape or new to the party like some of the new followers on Twitter and YouTube and all that, doesn't matter. We love and care for you guys all. So
We need to come up with a nickname for our followers, like Swifties, but obviously not Swifties. But I'm gonna think about that. We need a nickname for our people. Vote for Larry.
We can discuss in the group chat, and we'll come up with something. So, Chancey, shameless plugs.
I
And
mean,
where can the listeners find you?
I would say, here, clearly. The Red Eye Roundtable. It's on Instagram and TikTok. And Red Eye Table, right? Red Eye Table on X, and my name on Facebook. Yeah, the thing.
All right. And because Michael's son-in-law is getting ready to leave Casa de Vampire, Amanda, do you have any shameless plugs you want to throw out there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to run. But Dad, thanks for being here. I'm really glad, and I hope you come back for some more of the Grisham stuff if you want to, because this is fun, or whenever you want. But I just know you like the Grisham stuff too.
Oh no, absolutely. He's welcome to come back anytime.
The SIP list has been on a bit of a break, but for this month, November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and I am putting together a SIP episode with me, Casey, and Shanna, and we are trying to find a type 1 diabetic parent. I actually have a friend whose son was just diagnosed, so I'm trying to convince her, but she's a little hesitant, so we'll see. But what we're going to do is talk about some movies that portray diabetics and kind of talk about what's real and what's not, and then just talk about the lifestyle and what it is, and how people can support research for the cause. So hope everybody will tune in for that. And I am about to leave, so I'll let you guys say more, but I just want to encourage everybody who's watching live to go vote on Tuesday if you haven't already voted. Selection's very important. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of fear mongering. So take that what you will. But in my opinion, this is one of the most important elections in American history. And so I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. You do what you want to do, but your vote is your voice. So please vote. And thank you guys. This was so much fun.
We will see you next week, co-host. Go give Gigi a high five for me and tell him I said ha ha
ha. Okay. And for the people that are our faithful live watchers and listeners, so the client the Pelican Brief episode and the client episode will probably not be recorded on Sunday because of conflicts in my schedule. So hopefully Casey can let everybody know.
So 100%, we will update everybody as to what the schedule is going to be, because with Thanksgiving coming up and other obligations and all of that.
Great Thanksgiving! I'm going to the Eras Tour, bitches.
And
sorry, Taylor.
All the Starbucks lovers.
Oh, okay, all right. I gotta go. Love you guys. Bye.
So, go. See you later. But yeah, definitely 100%. Thank you, Michael, for coming on. We've been meaning to have you on for a while, and this was a lot of fun.
Glad to be here. Looking forward to men. Yeah.
Yes, we have. Amanda and I came up with so many questions and plot holes and things that we wonder about, and we need answers. Whether or not we can rightfully get those answers out of you is a different subject, but 100%.
So are you trying to say it's
100%.
about whether or not you can handle the truth?
It's a good movie. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah.
So, like Amanda said, we've got 3 more weeks of Thanks Grisham coming up. We're also talked about it last year. If you haven't checked out A Time to Kill, both the book and the movie, I highly recommend you go pick up that and check it out because that is
Yup.
probably one of my top 2 or 3 favorite Grisham books and movies of all time. So,
I'm
and
surprised
we
it wasn't
discussed
on
it,
the
like I
list.
said, like a year ago. Well, like Amanda and Shannon and I discussed it
Oh,
last year on,
yeah, you're right. You're
on
right.
Reapers and An Evening at the Movies. So, um,
That's valid.
we are going to wrap it up. We will be here next week. Amanda and Chancey and I will figure out what day and time that everything will all work out since somebody's going to go see Tay Tay. But we're not judging. So, again, thank you, Michael, for being here. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chancey, for accepting our invitation to become the newest co host on the show.
Fuck
And
yeah.
like Amanda said, get off your butts and pre-vote. Vote on Tuesday. I don't care how you vote, but go vote on Tuesday. Make your voice heard. I agree with Amanda 100%. This is a very important election coming up, and again, we won't tell you who to vote for. That's your own choice. But if I honestly believe if you don't vote, then you have no right to complain come Wednesday morning. So thank you to everybody who fought and defended our right to get to do this. It is greatly appreciated, but at the same time, if you don't go out and do your civic duty, then there's all of that. So go freaking vote. It is very important. Um, but with all of that, we will be back here in a week ish, give or take. And I think that's it. So I'm not used to it because normally Amanda's here to do it. But, you know what? Chancey, as new co host, it is your job to freaking say the damn closing line for the damn show this week. So the floor is yours, sir.
Okay. Peace and hair grease.
And we hope you guys all come back for An Evening at the Movies. We'll see you guys next week.